Cuba Gooding Jr. was matter of fact as he went through this process today, resolving his forcible touching case. The courtroom was sparsely attended. There were reporters and some observers, but not packed like you would typically see for a celebrity case. Cuba Gooding Jr. spoke briefly. He pleaded to a lesser charge, and in that admitted that he did kiss a waitress at a New York City nightclub back in 2018. He also heard from three of the victims, people who say they were victimized by him in cases, two of which were not ultimately brought as part of the plea agreement. A prosecutor read a statement from the waitress that he kissed, and then one woman appeared by a video and another addressed the court directly. Those victims were upset with what they say is a two-tiered system of justice, rewarding a celebrity and giving him what they said was a slap on the wrist, whereas other people who are not celebrities would be brought to trial and would face jail time for these charges. Cuba Gooding Jr. was initially arrested in the summer of 2019. It's been a 3+ year process. He was accused initially of forcibly touching, groping, kissing 3 women. Prosecutors ultimately decided to drop 2 of those cases and went ahead with a plea deal involving just 1 woman. That was struck in April. Part of the plea agreement was that Cuba Gooding Jr. had to stay out of trouble, and he had to attend what they called alcohol and behavioral management, behavioral therapy. So he's been seeing a therapist. According to prosecutors, he's been fully compliant, and the therapist gave positive reviews, and Cuba Gooding Jr., according to the prosecutor, will continue in therapy beyond that 6-month window that was required as a part of this agreement. It is an interesting coincidence that this case is being resolved right around the 5-year anniversary of the Me Too movement. That movement started with Harvey Weinstein, the Hollywood producer who, in this very courtroom in 2020, was convicted of rape and sentenced to 23 years in prison. There have been, though, some concerns that the Me Too movement is losing steam, that you see results like today, where Cuba Gooding Jr. gets no jail time, the vacating of Bill Cosby's conviction in Pennsylvania a few months back, and other matters that have gone away. We asked attorney Gloria Allred about this, and she said that while some of those developments are disappointing, women are still resolved to hold men accountable. What happened today, if you ask Cuba Gooding Jr.'s defense lawyers, if you ask prosecutors, was that they did not see a clear path to a conviction on some of these allegations. This case wore on for 3 years, and in the process, we heard allegations from several dozen women who came forward. By one account, there were 30 alone in New York City. There were others in Los Angeles and other cities who say that they had inappropriate interactions with Cuba Gooding Jr. I asked Cuba Gooding Jr.'s lawyer what he's doing to make sure he's not in those situations, whether he is being physical with people or accused of it. What is he doing to stay out of those situations going forward? And his lawyer said that he is maintaining his commitment to therapy, that he is continuing his behavioral modification counseling, and that he is looking forward to moving on with his acting career, which, for all intents and purposes, has been largely on hold since his arrest.